What is up? Welcome to Duct Tape Dynasty. We are here. I am the Duct Tape Dude.
I'm the dude.
And we are live. As you saw, I'm sure this is not going to be the Kai Stewart show. Well, that has been delayed, and for good reason. If you don't know why, there's a video out there. I'm not going to rehash it, whatever. But we are here. We are live, and we are hopefully going to do a Stanley Cup recap closeout show. I don't know if you can see it in the screens. Probably not because of the light I have in here, but there is some fantastic lightning going on outside. I was just talking to Dave before the show, which, by the way, yes, our host, our hockey host, Dave, is on the other side over here. I'm just making him wait. But I was telling him, it's going to be a good night when it's called the Forewarn weather car, because it's Channel 4 and it's Forewarn, when they park across the street from your house. Anyway, they're not across the street from my house, but a buddy of mine that's a copper sent me a picture. They're just out here, not far away. So there's a lot of lightning going on. We may lose internet, who knows, but for right now, we are live. I hope you can hear me. Do us a favor, though. Minimize that screen. Hit that subscribe button. Please hit the like button as well. Throw a comment in there. I don't even care if you spell anything. Just put a comment in there. It helps the algorithm and all that stuff. But rather than keeping Dave just sitting here listening to me, let's bring him over and let's start our hockey show. What's up, brother? How are you?
What up, Ducks?
Yes. The Duct Tape Ducks, the mighty Ducks, are in full force. Man, oh man. First and foremost, I know this is a hockey show, but hey, elephant in the room, hard not to talk about it, brother. You scored us the ultimate interview. For those that don't know, this kid right here, Dave, my brother, which officially on paper, I guess he's my brother-in-law, but whatever. He's my brother. Yeah. There's a story about, Mary and I dated in high school. Yeah, I'm going to go here now. Anyway, we broke up for a time. Holes. Yeah, here comes the rabbit hole. You ready? There's a rabbit hole kind of show. Maybe we should have named ourselves the Ducks. Here we go. We're going down another one. But anyway, back in the day, I dated Dave's daughter. I almost said. That's scary. Don't say that. Ooh. Dave's sister, Mary, while we were in high school together. Then we broke up and went our own ways. But Dave and I, no. I still came over. We played. We went outside and played. We had a good time. Yeah, so that had to have been awkward for Mary. I didn't care. Like I said, he's my brother. Anyway, Dave scored the Kai Stewart interview. For those that don't know, Kai Stewart is a Great Falls native. Dave has had some contact with him, has become friends with him, has got some sweet photos with the BKFC strap over his shoulder now. Dude, I saw those today. We're going to have to throw those on the social media. You got to hang out with Kai Stewart today. How was that?
It was awesome, man. He did his life has just got to be crazy right now, just going every direction. He was going to come on today, but I think he got a little better offer. He's going on stage with Tech 9.
Yeah,
so I can't blame the guy.
So yeah, anyway, Kai sends me a message and is like, hey, dude, give me a call. So I call him up, which, of course, then I'm just giddy. I'm like a little kid in a candy store. I was shaking. I could hear my voice shaking on the phone talking to him. I'm such a dork. Anyway, so yeah, we're talking and he tells me, hell yeah, I got invited Tech 9, all this stuff. And I'm like, well, dude, yeah, you're going. I mean, I've got, by the way, we're up to 84 subscribers now. So I think at the time we were only 83. So I said, our 83 subscribers can probably wait while you go be on stage at Tech 9. So he was super awesome about it, though. He was like, dude, look, I want to do this. I said I would do this. There's a few different things we can do. He offered, he's like, if you want, we can throw some show together right now. Can you go live now? Like, he was like, as soon as we can go, what's the earliest you can go? And if we have to do 3 interviews to make it up, let's do it in whatever. So he was ready. He's like, dude, if I need to do the interview on the road, because they had to drive a little ways to get to the Tech 9 concert. So whew, take a breath. Here we go. So, sorry, you can tell I'm fired up. I'm sorry, dude. I swear I'll let you talk at some point, but there's a rabbit hole I'm going down right now. So, he said, yeah, we can, yeah, I'll even do it in the car, on the phone in the car on the way over there. And I was like, I thought about it. I'm like, no, dude, for one, this is the other part. It's his birthday this weekend. So the youngest champion in BKFC history at 22 years old, he'll still remain that. But he's turning 23 this weekend. So happy birthday to him. I don't know that he'll ever see this, but if he does, happy birthday to Kai Stewart. As I have named him now, the John Wayne of combat sports.
Awesome, man.
Yeah.
Filthy.
So what I ended up saying.
So fitting, too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. It's perfect. It just came to me. But let me finish. Let me put a bow on this. Bottom line is Kai said it's up to me, right? He's like, dude, if you want to do it, we'll do it. Like I said, like he said, if we need to do 3 interviews, we'll do that. And I said, no, dude, go have fun. Enjoy that. Let's not worry about this. My 83 subscribers, now 84. I don't know, different ball game if I talk to him now, but my 83 subscribers and I will be okay, and we will talk to you next week. And he, dude, super, super cool about it. The dude was like apologetic. I'm like, what is going on? No, you don't need to apologize to me. Anyway, there's some sweet merch that I think came out of the deal. I think it was coming regardless. But he was like, dude, I'm doing it right now. And so Dave met up with him, and we have our first Duct Tape Dynasty dedicated merch. Well, not merch, item. A signed professional athlete item. That's pretty sweet, dude. That's pretty sweet. So we'll have to send some pictures out about that.
He's a solid dude, man. He's super apologetic to me too. He's stoked. He goes, I love your guys' energy. He's like, I'm super excited to do this. He's like, the timing. And I'm like, dude, don't even worry about it. I said, we'll figure it out. He's like, yeah, we will.
Yeah. Yeah. It's going to be a good show. And to be quite honest, I'm probably just going to freeze up and just drool. So, when that happens, I hope you're not on the railroad. I'm going to need you to help me get us through the show when it happens. So call in sick,
we need to
do
figure out
whatever
a good
you got to do.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, that's out on the air now, so we can't do that. But anyway, so we're here. You got the hockey stuff up there. In fact, actually, did I? Wait a second, I'm missing. Oh, no, our hockey logo's up there. Okay, I got it. Sorry, I thought I was missing something on the screen. Anyway, so the Stanley Cup wrapped up. Let's talk about it. Why don't you go ahead and start us off? I've been rabbit holing over here. I got to take a couple breaths and a drink of my Coke. Tell us about that final game. Tell us about the last few games. What do you think? How'd it end?
What a season for both teams. Honestly, Florida should have never have been there. So they barely squeaked into the playoffs and then just got lit on fire, and made it all the way to the final where they, unfortunately for them, ran into the Vegas Golden Knights, which themselves were on fire.
Right there over your shoulder.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir.
So, amazing season all around. Congratulations to both teams. Last game. Whew. I called it 6-1, and I thought it was going to be 6-1, man.
It was 6-1.
I'm like, all right, nobody else scored. I know.
I was like, okay, they're going to come out. They're just going to coast. Because for those who don't know, it was 6. Okay. Here we go. This isn't a rabbit hole. I guess we're just going down the, let's cover the finals now. So it started off in Vegas. Those first 2 games in Vegas, absolutely. They came out, smacked them in the mouth, like 5-2, then 7-2.
Yeah,
is that what we got? Something like that. Yeah. I mean, it was a couple slaps in the mouth. It was just like you said, yeah, Florida, you don't belong here. We're going to just take care of this. Then Dave and I made our prediction, which actually was our game 2 prediction, but I just kind of skipped that because we said 3-2. The game ended up being 7-2, but the next game, game 3, did end up being 3-2, as did game 4 ended up being 3-2. Both of those in Florida, and so granted, Florida only took one of those. And so we thought, oh, okay, here we go. And then it came back, Vegas is up 3-1. It's back in Vegas, game 5. And you said it. Yeah, 6-1 was your prediction. And after 2, it was 6-1. I mean, it was like, oh, my Lord. He called. And the way it happened, too, was exactly how you described it. You said, okay, Florida's going to come out. They're going to score first. And then Vegas is going to kind of flop around a little bit. And then they're just going to go nuts. That was essentially almost what happened. I mean, it was kind of like Okay, so game two, which actually game three, we said was going to be 3-2. Your prediction was Florida would win 3-2. I predicted it would be Vegas 3-2 in overtime, and so kind of we both sort of halfway got it right because it was
Hey,
different.
I'm gonna take those odds, especially
Yeah.
coming up to the football season.
It was a
I mean,
different
if we can
game.
get close like that, man, we're gonna be killing
That
it
was
this
awesome.
season.
It was awesome, and actually, I'm glad you brought that up because I got something I got to say about that. Regarding winning percentages and whatnot. Man, there's a cool lightning storm going on outside, but it looks like it's going to blow by us. So we may be able to actually pull this show off. It is now out the left window, which they typically come from the southwest. They move northeast, and so that way is southwest. It's over here now, so I think we're going to be okay. Anyway, so 3-2. Yeah, we were off by a game, but it ended up being, it did go to overtime. The final score was 3-2, but you had said Florida would win 3-2 in regulation. I said Vegas 3-2 overtime. It was overtime 3-2, but Florida won. Anyway, so we were kind of close. And then, so the Vegas thing, they come back to Vegas. You say 6-1, and it started off, and it was a little bit slow. Granted, it wasn't exactly how you said it, but it was close. And then, sure enough, Vegas just they lit it on fire. 6-1 after 2. It was like, dude, he called it. Holy cow! I'm like over here, literally getting clips ready. Like I'm ready to clip this, right? Because I'm not going to miss that opportunity. I'm going to clip this baby. I'm going to put it out there. We called it. I'm going to cover up the date and say, I know we called it for last game, but no, I know this one we actually did.
Dude, you know who else called it?
Who?
The Vegas Golden Knights owner.
Oh yeah,
when
dude.
They got it 2016. He said we will win the Stanley Cup
in
2023.
Yep. Unbelievable. And I love that when they actually presented the trophy, they mentioned that. I don't know the name of the dude who was presenting the trophy. I'm sure you do, but he actually mentioned that the owner said 6 years ago, he said, we're going to win and sure enough, man, that was awesome. That was so awesome. So, I mean, what a show by Vegas. It is what you thought was going to happen. Granted, there was a third period and Vegas kept pouring it on. We ended up, 9-3? Is that what it was? They scored 3 more goals. It was 9-3.
Yeah.
They almost had 10 goals. It was 9-3. What a wow. Anyway, well, so I know I asked the question. Yeah, I mean, they said, look, we're done with this stuff. We are absolutely done with this. It is time to win this. Give us the trophy. As Jokic said and this is for Bo, this is for you, brother, for the Denver Nuggets. It's time to go home now. Like Vegas was like, hey, we want to go home now. So they came in, they just slapped these boys around. They said, this is over. Give us our trophy. We're going home. And
they had a pretty good incentive too.
Yeah,
a certain club in Vegas said they would get certain dances for life if they won the Stanley Cup.
Oh, what
more do you need?
Jeez, yeah, that was it. I'm sure that's what took them over the edge. So, man, but what a statement by them. And I am going to ask the question. I know I asked it at the end of game 2, which is what is that? Is home ice that big a difference? Is that what it was?
I mean, I can't imagine playing in Vegas. The show that they probably put on before the game, during the game. I mean, it's got to be one crazy barn to play in. I mean, so for Vegas, I feel like it was definitely a home ice advantage. Like I said previously in the playoffs, it really wasn't until this series, and then once you got into this series, it seemed like home ice was definitely helping each team. Granted, Florida lost their other game on home ice, but it was close.
Yeah, I mean, they were right there. It was anybody's game.
Close. Right, and then you go to Vegas, and, man, Vegas at home was just on fire.
Unstoppable. I mean, absolutely unstoppable. And so it came down to the classic, who beats the other person in their barn first. Now, granted, I think regardless of who did that first, Vegas was going to slaughter them anyway. But, man, what an advantage. And do you know, typically right around the end of the Super Bowl, the NFL starts talking immediately about who's going to go to what team and is this team going to be back together next year? And, Is Vegas, what's the hockey world like? Is Vegas going to come back with the same team? Do they tear it apart? What happens at the end of a season?
I haven't heard too much yet. Really, the only thing I heard is about the Oilers, and that's all hearsay as well. But I think you're probably going to see some moves now. Grant, you gotta remember, Vegas just won the Stanley Cup with their starting goaltender out of the lineup injured, a two-time Stanley Cup champion goaltender sitting on the bench. They went through 5 goalies this season to come up with their record and to win the Stanley Cup. 5 different netminders. So, I think some people are going to move. Well, I haven't heard anything yet, but you got to imagine it's probably not going to be the same team.
But do they keep the nucleus typically?
Yeah, oh yeah. They got, I think they're going to hang on to the misfits is what they call them. The 6 original Golden Knights. I think those guys are going to stay around.
I think they've earned it.
I think Vegas has a better chance of repeating than Colorado did, for sure.
Yeah. Yeah, well, Vegas, I mean, they've been relevant since they started. It wasn't that long ago they were in it. What, 2017?
Yeah, 2017.
One of those.
They've been in the league 6 years. They made the playoffs 5 out of 6 years with 2 Stanley Cup appearances and 1 Stanley Cup win. I mean, phenomenal job.
Unbelievable.
Yeah, phenomenal.
Man, so what's your view? Is this good for hockey, or is this band of misfits, whatever?
I think it's great for hockey.
I think so too. I do too. I do too.
Anything to promote the game and make it better, no matter where it's at, is good.
Yeah.
Now,
what I guess I was talking about is sometimes they have small market teams that are, the leagues aren't necessarily super excited if that small market team gets into, like, let's say, I don't know, name a small market football team for the NFL and they get into the Super Bowl. There's always talk about the NFL. Oh, the NFL's got to be upset because, this team's not bringing the money in. Vegas isn't really a small market team, are they? They're a pretty big deal, right? I mean, the reason I ask that is because they're new. I mean, they're still new. They're still up and coming, but really from the start, they have been just had an unbelievable following, right?
Oh yeah. They're definitely a big deal, and they're only going to get bigger now, especially. I mean, it's not going to be like, oh, they won, now I don't have to watch hockey anymore. Who cares? No, it's just they're going to blow up, I think. And now they got the Raiders there, and they're getting the Athletics. I think Vegas is going to be a long-time sports town from here on out.
Yeah, absolutely. I was going to mention that same thing is, Vegas, they bring the Golden Knights out there first, was their first taste of professional something. Now, granted, they had success right away, which that helps. With the Oklahoma City Thunder, we had that right away as well, which helped. Now the Thunder stink, and, you're feeling the small market team thing out here. Vegas isn't necessarily a small market, but I just wanted, since they were a new team, I wanted to get the feel for, how big a deal they were. But the
only thing that can hurt teams in Vegas is there's so much going on.
Well, and you know what? I almost think
much going on.
Because you hear the people that live in Vegas, they always say, "Oh, we don't go down to the Strip and all that stuff." It's like they get it out of their system probably in the first 2 weeks. So maybe it's an advantage. Yeah. Maybe it's a weapon because it's a distraction for the teams coming in. Same thing for the Raiders. Granted, they haven't really capitalized, but what I guess I was getting at is they got the taste of professional sports with the Vegas Golden Knights. Granted, they were good, but they're like, hey, this kind of works out. This is good. They bring in the Raiders, and that thing just pops off. I mean, any NFL team is going to pop off no matter what. Oh, yeah. And, I mean, they are becoming a professional sports destination. They're even going international. They're bringing F1 in this year. I mean, it's going to be sweet. Vegas, man, I don't know what happened there, but, boy, they are going big or going home. I guess that's the name of the game in Vegas, right? So
Vegas, baby.
Anyway, but one of the things that always happens right after the playoffs, and it's always a huge topic, is the injury reports, because hockey is just, it is something special. It takes a special breed of folks. Anyway, they don't report the injuries like the NFL does and all that kind of stuff. And so after the season, we end up getting the list of, okay, who was playing with what,
Yep.
and holy cow, it is always impressive. But I know, I think you mentioned specifically, and forgive me, I'm trying not to burp in the microphone. You mentioned specifically the Florida Panthers. So I pulled them up, but why don't you go ahead? What did you see on the Florida Panthers that's like, I mean, well, it's unbelievable anyway, but go ahead. Why don't you give us a little taste
Yeah,
of what you saw out there?
you could not to take anything away from Vegas or say this would have changed anything, but you could obviously tell Matthew Chuck was hurt mostly in the last game. Well, come to find out, he broke his sternum in game 3 and continued to play. I
Yeah.
mean, if you'd say any other sports franchises, whatever, are the toughest guys in all sports, dude, broken sternum and he kept playing.
Yeah.
Ekblad, broken foot, torn oblique. He's going in for shoulder surgery this summer. These guys are playing through that. I don't know how.
I know.
And a broken foot. Yeah, I mean,
Dude,
you
I
got all your
broke
weight
my
on your
sternum
foot.
before. I broke my sternum before, and I mean, you can't breathe. You cannot
Yeah.
breathe. Breathing is extremely painful. I can't imagine huffing and puffing out there on a
Oh, yeah.
hockey rink.
Well,
I mean,
it's out there on the web there that Matthew Chuck's brother Brady actually had to help him out of bed
oh,
before his game 4 game when he was taking a nap. I mean, and he still played. Like, how do you do that?
granted, I know
Unreal.
I don't know how much stuff they're shooting up with in the locker rooms now, and I'm not saying that is how this is happening. I'm not trying to insinuate something for the NHL, but they're still playing through it no matter what. I mean, fact of the matter is, dude has a broken sternum. You can take as much tramadol as you want. That sternum's still broken, brother. And
Right.
you got a broken tibia in Game 4 of the Eastern Conference Finals on, that guy, the center.
Yeah.
Yeah, you
but
have
here's
the
what's
broken
crazy.
foot and oblique tear.
Yeah.
I mean, jeez. What was the Vegas? Was Vegas tore up as well? Anything crazy there? Nothing.
Nothing.
They're
dude.
clean, huh?
And that's what's crazy is you hardly ever see that. I mean, both these teams battle for 8 weeks or whatever the playoffs are. And once you get to the playoffs, the intensity, everything steps up so much. The body contact, everything. You take a beating. And to see Vegas come out with no major injuries, unreal.
Dude.
Unreal.
I mean, maybe that's part of the reason they were so stinking hot is they were still, for lack of a better term, fresh. You know, they weren't as banged up as everybody else. It had to have played somewhat of a factor. Go ahead.
Right. I'm glad you brought up the word fresh because you mentioned fresh legs.
Yes, at the beginning of the whole thing.
We talked about that, and I said they could last 45 seconds. I'm telling you what, man, I saw the difference in game 1 after the first period. Florida was already
gassed.
Losing their legs. Yep, gassed.
Yeah.
And Vegas was they just kept that momentum with them the whole time.
It was the classic, and I remember having the conversation, is it going to be momentum or rest that wins? You know, now granted you had an 8-seed team and a 1-seed team. There were a lot of factors there, but that is definitely a valid thing. And it did not help Florida whatsoever. I saw the exact same thing as you. I'm sure we even talked about it, which was, they were kind of fresh and faster than Vegas for the first, I don't even know if it was a full period, like half a period. And then Vegas caught up to them.
I'll give them a period.
Yeah, we'll go for it. But then Vegas caught up to them and dude, sweet.
Didn't stop.
Yeah, I mean, they just, it was very impressive. It was very impressive. It was fun to watch. I mean, I'm not going to lie to you. Seeing goals scored, that is exciting. Granted, I can appreciate the low scoring games as well. I do appreciate good goalie play, which is why Vegas's success bummed me out just a little bit because I really was on the Bobrovsky train, man. Yeah, you just hate to see it because he's just beating himself to no end now, and he will for I don't know how long.
I mean,
Vegas was just hot, man. They were just that hot, and Yeah, I mean, it didn't matter. They pulled Bobrovsky, and I mean, goals were getting scored on everybody. It didn't matter. It was Vegas was hot and Florida was not. So, geez, let's see. Actually, and I don't know that we have very many people actually watching. By the way, we're up to 85 subscribers now. Kai Stewart, watch out. But what I was going to do is, for anybody who's in the comment section, if anybody has a recommended question to ask Kai next week, please type it in that comment section, even after the fact. If you're watching this not live, but a rerun, if you will, throw a comment in there about something you'd like us to ask Kai. And if there's some good ones in there, we'll definitely ask, and we'll let him know that it came from the comments, specifically you. So that'd be kind of cool opportunity for some folks out there in the comments. I've been writing down a bunch of things, but when I get excited, I talk fast. And so this might be 3 minutes of material. I don't know. We'll see. So, because I guarantee once he's in front of me on the screen, all the rabbit holes are just going to go, and I'm just going to lose everything except what's in front of me on the paper. And who knows? I might run through that, like I said, in 30 seconds. And then what? What an interview. I mean, I guess that'd be great internet, right? Some clown show gets a real interview and blows it. Anyway. But yeah, so if anybody has anything out there that they can think of that we need to ask Kai Stewart, please put it in the comments. Other than that, shoot, do you have anything else that we need to say about the hockey season that was before we tie a bow on this thing and call it good?
I'm ready for next year already, man.
Dude, yes. I will definitely be watching a lot more hockey. Granted, this whole YouTube thing has really put me watching a lot more sports that I wouldn't watch anyway, just because of the fact that it's like, holy cow, we actually talk about this stuff a little bit. So I've got to kind of pay attention. And on that note, and I know we're not a basketball program, but one of the six, Bo, lives in Colorado, in Denver specifically. And so, of course, last year during the Stanley Cup, he was rocking and rolling. In fact, Mary and I were down up in Colorado during the Stanley Cup. That was pretty sweet. That was kind of a fun atmosphere. Yeah. And of course, Colorado won it last year. See, now I did it. I went down another rabbit hole. Anyway, so Denver Nuggets winning it this year. I'm not a basketball guy. None of us are, but Bo is. So, yeah, I was even putting that on and watching that a little bit. But, yeah, the Denver Nuggets get it done. They win the championship. And so Vegas. And so Colorado can't repeat in the Stanley Cup, but they still bring another championship home. And so that's pretty exciting. Wanted to at least mention it, throw it out there for Bo, let him know that, hey, brother, we are at least paying attention because you care, we care, right? That kind of stuff.
Great for the city of Denver, but I don't think your donkeys are looking too good, bud.
Buddy.
Especially November 19th. They're going down. Tailgate party.
Yes. In fact, yes. Stick around afterwards. In fact, actually, I'm kind of glad you said that. One of the things I did, which I felt so weird to do this, but whatever, is I put my Cash App in the credits. Okay, so if anybody is out there that's rich or whatever, if you want to help us out, we're trying to get to Denver for the Denver Broncos, Minnesota Vikings Sunday night football game on the 19th of November. We're planning to do a tailgate podcast. We're going to do it regardless. It's just a matter of whether or not we'll be actually in the parking lot or, and that all depends on funding. So if anybody wants to contribute, please, by all means, the Cash App will be in the credits. Send us whatever. I feel really weird doing that, but hey, you never know. I guess it's the thing folks do to get funded and whatnot. And on those lines, I sent an email to, I've got no problem asking anybody for hey, you want to come on my program, knowing full well, or at least expecting full well, that I'll never hear a thing from them. And so it's always exciting when I hear something back. It's how the QB54 thing happened. It's how a few other things have happened. I've gotten responses, but I sent an email to or a message. I tagged FanDuel on one of our posts,
Nice.
and FanDuel replied to me and was like, "Hey, buddy, whatever, you need help with something or what?" And I was like,
What?
"Well, I mean, I didn't think you were gonna." But since I got you on the line, I was like, "Hey, me and my buddies are trying to get to Denver for the whatever," and they sent a message back, and they're like, "Well, send a thing to our sponsorship team." And again, they're not gonna. I will never hear anything back. But you betcha, I sent a message to their sponsorship team and said, "Hey, you want to fund it? You want to send us to Denver? Whatever."
Yeah, that'd be sweet.
Yeah. I also sent a message to Tom Brady and asked him to come on this show, but he hasn't replied either. So,
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah, there's a few I'm not really expecting. So anyway, when I do get a response on some of these, it's like, holy cow, this guy actually replied. And so that's kind of how the Cash App thing went in there. I was like, man, you know what? I'm just going to put it out there. And if something happens, whatever. We'll see what happens. So
we need to set up a GoFundMe.
Yeah, is that still a thing?
I don't know, but go fund our trip.
Yeah, oh geez. Anyway. Man. Anyway, wow. Okay, well then let's what we're going to do, we're going to close out with us. I am going to do or try to then call Andrew and bring him on. We've got kind of a little summer series that we're trying to do. Our main show, as we always say, is this NFL Pick'em show, of which, actually, that brings me back to a rabbit hole I tried to go down at the very beginning of this show, but didn't. And I said I would circle back, and that is I actually calculated out our win percentage, because if I'm going to email FanDuel, I'm not just going to be like, hey, can we have money? No. I'm going to throw a pitch in there, right? I'm going to put something together. Kind of like our whole, the social media team, and, we've talked. Anyway, so I calculated out my win percentage last year was 72.8155%. Correct.
Dang.
That's pretty darn good, man.
Followed by yours truly.
Yeah, well, I didn't calculate yours. I just said, hey, look, I have hey, I finished first, so I gave him the best news we had. And I went out 3 decimal places. I said 72.816. I rounded up. 816% correct prediction percentage or whatever. I don't know, but we'll never hear back. But anyway, so there you go. That's the rabbit hole I tried to go down at the very beginning of the show, and now we went down it. We've closed the loop. But what I'm going to try to do, you and I are going to hang up. I'm going to try and bring Andrew on. We're going to do a quick little, he's going to tell us about, basically, okay, so here we go. Now I'm bad, man.
Summer series, man. Summer series.
So, NHL is over. NBA is over. MLB is going on. That's not a big draw for us. We're mainly an NFL show. We're going to start talking about NFL now because the big stuff is kind of over and out of the way. Baseball's kind of in limbo right now. It's not to anything super important, but there's not a lot of NFL news to talk about. So what we're going to do, we're going to put together shows that have kind of fun aspects like we saw a week or so ago when Andrew and we pulled up some fast food chain information, and then we ended up kind of having like a fast food chain draft, and I hung up on him, and anyway, it was a blast, man. It was an absolute blast. And so Andrew and I were talking about it, and I was like, hey, why don't you put together? And so anyway, he's going to tell us about some stuff that he's putting together. The idea being, we still want to do a show weekly at least, and we'll talk some NFL, give you a little bit of updates on what's going on, which won't be much, but then we'll do something fun like that, and still have a show that's worth watching until the NFL season starts, which boy, oh boy, I can't wait for that. This is going to be exciting. It's going to be a fun year.
Heck yeah.
Anyway.
Hey, two quick things before you
go. Go.
When's the F1 race in Vegas?
F1 race in Vegas. Oh, no. Is that the same weekend? No. No, don't be. It's in November. I know it's in November.
Oh no.
Oh, no. I think it's November 19th because it's on a Sunday. Oh, no.
Oh no.
Oh, no. So, okay, don't get to number 2 yet. I'm pulling it up. Oh, no. Racing. Yep.
No way.
It's that weekend.
Dude.
It is that weekend. It is
Well,
that
maybe
weekend.
we'll have to do a doubled up thing there.
We might have to. The crazy thing is that race starts at midnight on Saturday night.
Ooh.
And actually,
Man.
it's Sunday night football. We could do it. We could do it, dude. We could do a watch along from the, I don't know, hotel room, which
Let's
I'm
do
sure
it,
the
dude.
hotel folks will be really happy with us at midnight yelling and doing a show. Heck yeah. Heck yeah. Okay. This
Yeah.
could be fun because the game isn't till nighttime. It's a Sunday night game. So,
Oh, sweet.
So we would actually be able to do the whole midnight race thing, put a bow on that, close it up, still get to bed at, 2 a.m. or 3 a.m. or whatever, get a good night's sleep.
We would naturally be going to bed at that time.
Yeah,
anyway.
because we haven't seen each other and been around each other for so long. I mean, we get this crew together. We're going to be telling fishing stories.
And none of us even fish.
Not fish. The bottom line is every fishing story is a lie, right? So, or at least it contains some portion of a lie. So we're just going to sit around and tell each other lies about who knows what for hours on end, and it'll be awesome. And yeah, we probably won't sleep at all, but let's throw an F1. Now I'm excited about it, dude. At first I was like, oh no. But actually I've been worried about this because of the fact that we are doing, yes, the F1 watch along for the Vegas race. We're planning on it at least. But hey, by the way, my watch alongs were with who? My kids, right? Well, guess what? Neither of them's here right now because they're both in Montana because one of them's going to be going to this school come next year. So he'll actually be up in Montana during that anyway. So I wouldn't really be able to do a watch along with the kids. Aiden and I could stay up and do it. But then there would be but then we got church in the morning. Well, now, if we're already going to be in Denver, I mean, rock and roll, baby. This thing worked out great. I'm glad you brought that up. So anyway, you said you had 2 things, though. So number 1, you nailed it. You knocked it out of the park, brother. Congratulations.
Second one. My sticker's in the mail yet? Man.
Right here. Right.
Y'all want Duct Tape Dynasty stickers, let them know.
Yeah, we got Duct Tape Dynasty decals. And they're actually good quality. They are good
Better
quality.
send a few extra of those so I get them to Kai.
Yep. Yeah, we're gonna give Kai some swag, and I think we're getting some back. We've already seen some, so man, so excited about that thing. But let's put a bow on this. Let's get you out of here. Let's get Andrew on here, and then
See ya.
yeah, we'll do it. So hang on a second. Don't hang up yet. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna mute you so nobody can hear you. So say bye, everybody.
See ya. Love you.
All right. Dave loves everybody. He's muted now. All right. Let me go back to this screen, Dave. All right, brother. You're out of here. I love you. We'll see you. All right. Later. All right, folks. I'm going to try and get Andrew on the phone here. I know you can't hear him, but I can. As soon as I get him up and running here. There he is. Woo, buddy. I got a little bit of feedback on that one. How are you, bro?
Can you hear me okay?
I can hear you. There he is. It actually worked.
Great.
Look at that.
Way to go.
Look at us. We have taken the next step. We have gone to a 2-guest format. This is the first time ever. Whoa.
All right now.
I didn't even know that. Oh, man, what a night. What a night.
What a night.
Anyway, how are you, brother? Love the I want to say love the sweater because it is a hockey paraphernalia, although it is a hoodie. But I was talking about the Great Falls Americans one you're wearing, but more importantly, the Duct Tape Dynasty sweater over your shoulder. I cannot believe it. I got so excited and wrapped up about putting this show together that I did not even bring my jersey out. That's unsaid.
Oh no.
Next time. So, anyway, I don't know if you were watching, but I kind of gave folks a little heads up on what's going to happen with our. I can't remember what we even termed it. I'm going to let you say what it is, but what I told the folks is, look, NFL now is going to become prominent for us at least, because MLB, there's not really a lot to talk about other than scores maybe and, this and that. But there's not going to be a lot of NFL news either, but there will be enough to, something to say. But I want to be able to fill up a show. And so you came up with a great idea, which kind of birthed from our rather entertaining, at least I was rather entertained, discussion about food chains and whatnot. So tell us about this project that I have handed you that honestly you're already knocking out of the park and I'm excited about.
So the project he is talking about, for those of you watching at home, it is called the Duct Tape Dynasty Summer Series. And this came to me as I was, the next day after we did our food one, sitting there. Man, that'd be really fun if we went over other favorite things throughout the summer that America likes, like movies or sports drinks like Gatorade or Powerade or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
And do like a little sports draft version of it, because I've been watching these things on Instagram since I don't have TikTok, of these, like it's like two guys every time, and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to draft yellow logos or whatever. And I'm like, it's super entertaining to watch them draft the most random stuff. So I was thinking, put together the Duct Tape Dynasty Summer Series where we do just that all throughout the summer. If you've been paying attention to the socials, we've already had some graphics up about how to watch along here on YouTube, as well as follow along on the pages on Instagram. And I have been working away on my summer series passion project topic, because I'm a big movie fan.
Yeah.
So I picked summer blockbusters, because who doesn't love an awesome movie coming out in the summer? So I have been putting together a tier list so we can look at it like it looked like last time. 4 movies, so we can look at some summer blockbusters. And then you brought up an idea to break that out even more. Instead of just all the super cool ones, break it up by decade.
Right,
so
right. Because the way, let me jump in here. What happened was Andrew sent out this list, and it was like the top 100 summer blockbusters, right? And it was like, holy cow, there are so many great ones. How are we going to do this? And so that's where the idea of, hey, let's break it down into kind of categories. But then even at the categories, he was, we talk, folks. We're doing work in the background here.
Oh yeah,
he's sending us stuff. We've got our little media chain of folks that whatever, you don't need to know all the details, but we discuss this stuff before we bring it out. And so we broke it down by category, but there were still, even when you listed like the top 5 movies of each category, it was still like, well, wait a second, where's this movie? Where's that movie? Where's this one? When it comes to summer blockbusters, now I will say, and maybe it's a COVID thing, we're still recovering from that, but it's been lacking. I know COVID killed the movie theater for a while, but even before then, we were waiting on Top Gun and waiting on Top Gun and waiting on Top Gun, and then COVID hit. But, it was like, where are all these? They're making a comeback now. But anyway, okay, here we go.
They're making a comeback now.
We talked about earlier how I just go down these rabbit holes. That just happened again. So yeah, what we decided is, it was like, you know what? Can we break this down further? And so you go ahead. Sorry, that's my interruption. It's your show. Go.
No, you're good. He asked, can we break this down further? And I said, I'll look into it. And that turned into, I'm breaking it down further. We're breaking it down by decades.
Yes.
Decades. And what we consider, or at least what I considered, and I sent it out to the team and they agreed with me, the summer blockbuster did not start until the 1970s, with I think Jaws coming out in 1975 was the first blockbuster that we know of. When we think of summer blockbusters, it was
Absolutely.
Jaws.
Absolutely. Yes.
So we are starting in the 1970s, going the 80s, the 90s, 2000s, 10s, and then we might skip the 20s. We'll see. We might throw it in later. We'll see what happens.
Yeah, I think it's getting stronger. So I've got another little group of guys around here that actually we get together for movies, and it's like, Fast and Furious 9 we went to, which is just a ridiculous movie, but it's a guy movie.
It was so ridiculous.
Yeah.
But I
Oh
went
my
to it
gosh,
anyway.
I remember just laughing in the movie theater. But bottom line, we go to these movies like Flash. That was the movie we were going to go to tonight. I actually had tickets to. I canceled because Kai was supposed to be on, and then that anyway. But bottom line, now we're doing this show, and I'm having a blast. But we'll get there. But I have a movie group of guys that we go and we see movies. We see Dune. We see this. We see that. And, now that I think about it, they're making a comeback because there's been some good ones. Of course,
sure.
Top Gun, you had Avatar, which I didn't really like the movie. The visual of it was just unbelievable. I mean, I didn't see the first Avatar, but I was visually amazed by the movie. Storyline, disappointed. Just whatever. But so you had that movie. Gosh, there's been a lot of them now that I think about it. I mean, you've got, of course,
the 2023 is making up for what 2020 left.
Dude,
we're finally getting back into we're making up for it. This year's been great.
Okay, you're a movie guy. Actually, I was on a
Very
movie
much
guys thing. Luke is not in the comments tonight. Luke, I don't know how to say your last name. Fonto or Ponto or anyway, Luke is our movie guy. He's got a movie channel. The dude is a movie buff. He's not in the comments so far tonight, but Luke, if you watch this later on, please drop comments in there and let us know your thoughts on this. But
please.
What I want to talk about just for a quick second, let's just run through some of the stuff that's been coming out or is coming out. We've got a Mission Impossible that's coming out. We got
that
Flash.
Looks really good.
That
looks good. I really want to see it.
Wasn't there another Ant-Man that just came out?
That came out in March, so it's not a summer movie, but it's a Marvel movie, so it's kind of an event.
I'm just talking. I'm okay. Okay. Sorry. Here's my rabbit hole.
Let me
explain my rabbit hole. The rabbit hole that I'm currently focused on is the kind of the resurgence of the movies since COVID. We thought that the movie theater was dead, and I didn't plan on having this conversation, but I am thoroughly into it now because I'm excited about it. I was worried because they started doing those, we're going to release it at home and you can watch it at home for $20. And I was not a fan of that at all. But, so this group of guys that I'm part of, there's been a lot of movies that we've been talking about and texting about, and even in the previews for a movie that we're at, we're oftentimes going, hey, put that on the list, boy. So let's talk about that for a second. There's some good stuff that has come out and is coming out. You're our movie guy. Start naming some things. Let's see where this goes.
So what I thought best movie of 2022, we've talked about it already, was Top Gun Maverick.
Right.
I loved that movie.
Phenomenal.
There is, I just saw in the chat, Uncle or Dave says, new Ninja Turtles movie coming out. Exactly. The new Ninja Turtles movie, it looks super good. I'm a big nerd too, so I'm gonna go on that tangent.
Hey, did you see the Mario movie?
I loved it. It was so good.
I haven't seen it. I watched Luke. Hey, Luke. I watched Luke's video on it. I mean, he raved about it. I haven't seen it yet. I want to see it.
Good.
I want to see it.
Good.
I'm 45 years old, dude. I want to see that movie. I want to. Sorry. Anyway, keep going. So name some others. Top Gun was phenomenal. I went and saw Top Gun in IMAX
I would have loved that.
3 times.
I would have loved that.
It was just as good every time. Hey, by the way, for those that don't know, you can't, you can kind of see it over my shoulder. I think that's the picture. That's F-15. Anyway, so I've done that. I've flown around and done the loops and the rolls and all the stuff. And I tell you what, that movie nailed it. As far as how close you can get without having your seats actually move or actually doing the act itself, the flying in the jet, that was pretty phenomenal, man, especially in IMAX. So I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I'm going to keep interrupting you. It's what I do. Whatever. It's my show. But keep going, please. What else did we have? So we had Mario. We had Top Gun. We had go.
earlier this year in May, Guardians of the Galaxy 3.
Yes.
Long time waiting for that. It was amazing. I loved it.
I enjoyed it. I went with the family, saw that one. Yep.
That one was really good. There was Fast X, the newest Fast and Furious movie.
That's out now, right? Is that out now?
Yep.
You know what? It was a huge miss recently was that Jurassic World.
I have not watched the newest one.
Neither have I.
I saw the first one. I've seen Jurassic World that came out in like 2015 or 16, whenever the original one came out. I saw the second one in pieces. I still don't think I've seen that to completion, and that's weird for me. And I haven't seen the third one. I have not.
Have you ever seen the
movie? And it brings back the original cast, and it drives me. It's like, how have I not watched this yet?
But it's horrible, is what I've heard. It's just terrible.
I don't know. I haven't watched it.
Like I think McAfee rented out an entire movie theater for it and walked out.
Really?
I think so.
Wow.
I think that's how the story went. But yeah, it was bad. Maybe that was Avatar because it was so long. I don't know. Don't quote me. Anyway, so Avatar was another big one that came out. I wasn't a huge fan of the plot, but the visuals stunning. Okay. Go ahead.
I'm not the biggest fan of those movies either.
We had the Ant-Man.
Another movie coming out, Ant-Man. They're making the Christopher Nolan 3-hour epic about Oppenheimer and the creation of the atomic bomb. That looks amazing to me. Yeah, I'm pumped for that. What else is coming out this year?
We said the Mission Impossible again. We said the Fast 10. There's so many. Oh, I've got to look it up now.
We said Ninja Turtles.
You're on my phone. What?
Across the Spider-Verse.
Oh, yeah,
the Spider-Man movie. It was really good. I loved it. It was really good. What else is coming out this year? You said The Flash.
Hit movies since...
What's come out in the last few years?
2020.
Oh, one movie I really loved, and I know people in the comments are going to love this as well if they're still watching. Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds.
Oh, I like that. Yeah, movie? I saw that one.
It was so good.
I did.
I loved it.
Oh, Tenet came out.
I never watched it because I heard it's confusing.
It was very confusing.
It's kind of out there.
I watched it the first time, was entertained action-wise, didn't get it because I'm stupid. I can't follow that stuff. Came home, watched the spoilers on YouTube that explained it to me, went back to it, and it was so much better. So much better when I actually imagine that. When you can actually figure out what's happening in the movie, it's better. I
got another one in the chat. Thank you, Mom. The new Transformers movie just came out.
Yes.
And it looks really good because it looks like the original Transformers, and that's awesome. It's not like the Michael Bay ones where they look like bugs and you don't know what's happening.
Yes. You mentioned, and I kind of just stepped all over it, the Batman. We're bringing back Michael Keaton, right?
That's so cool.
Which I have a story about that. I have a story about that.
Go for it.
Man, you know what? I have so many stories that are just random like this that I think are great. But are like, what kind of life have you lived? This is so random. So I started off in the military as a pilot. And my first job as a pilot, what they used to do was called IFT, which was Introduction to Flight Training. And it was basically a weed out program. And what they would do is they would send you, the Air Force would pay for you to go to a local airport and get your private pilot's license. And sorry, I just picked a scab on my arm. They'd pay for you to go get your private pilot's license. And what it was is it would weed out a bunch of the guys that, they wanted to fly until they had to do the work to fly. And so it would save the Air Force a bunch of money because it's a lot cheaper to have a guy quit while he's flying Cessnas than it is while he's flying jets. So I started as a pilot, and that was my first job, was to go to the local airport in Bozeman, Montana, and fly little puddle jumpers and get my pilot's license. Greatest job I ever had, man. I got paid. I literally got paid to just go fly airplanes. It was so fantastic. Anyway, one day, and I flew out of a FBO, that's where the private, the people that own their planes, and which includes those that are being rented and whatnot,
Right.
Anyway, so I'm at the FBO and I'm walking in and I'm in a flight suit and all that stuff. I still had to wear the uniform, even though I'm going to fly in civilian airplanes. And in the parking lot, there are all these guys. It's like 11 a.m. and they're drinking beer. And it's like, what is going on? You do not see alcohol at an FBO because usually the people that are there are the ones flying the airplanes. You know what I mean? Like they're the pilots, you know? So this was the first time I'd ever seen alcohol around an FBO. And I was like, holy cow, and there was like several of them. There was like 6 different guys drinking beer. And then there were these black labs running around, the most gorgeous black labs I've ever seen. Anyway, I just thought it was really, really weird. And so as I was walking by, this one guy's black lab comes up and I start petting it and, you know, patting on it and whatnot. And the owner's like right here. And I didn't even look at him. And I was just like, hey, nice dog, you know, whatever. And we said 2 or 3 words to each other and I moved on. And as I was walking in, you got a call. You got a call? You got a text? Or did your internet go down? Oh, no. We lost Andrew. This is critical. Oh, no. I can't ruin this story. It was going to be a good story. Andrew. All right, I'm going to hang up. We're going to try and call him back. And we'll try and do this story all over again. Okay, it doesn't list their phone numbers. Good. Oh. Wonder if his internet went down. Hey.
We good?
Yeah, I don't know what happened. I lost you.
I don't know what happened either. You froze up mid-story. The owner, you didn't even look up at him. That's where we were.
Okay, so owner's right here. I didn't even look up at him. I'm patting on his dog and petting his dog, whatever. We say, you know, 2 or 3 words to each other. Not really much, just kind of nice dog sort of deal, right? And then I go and I walk into the FBO because I'm going to go fly airplanes. And as I'm walking in, like the people, there's like everyone who is there is plastered on the windows, staring out at me. And I'm like, is my flight suit unzipped? Like literally, like, is this, you know, like this is weird. Anyway, I walk in and my instructor is right there, a friend of mine. And he goes, do you know who that was? Oh no, I lost Andrew. No. Are you there?
I'm still here.
Okay.
Yeah.
It gives me this symbol with the little exclamation that says, you know, I lost you or whatever.
Did that? It hasn't affected my end of things. So.
Okay. Your internet is garbage. I'm telling you that. Your dad.
I don't know what's going on. Maybe it's just where I'm at.
Tell your dad to upgrade his internet. Oh,
I think I'm just in the wrong room of the house.
Maybe that's what it is. Okay, don't move. You sound better now. So anyway, I walk in. Everybody is plastered against the windows. I go to my instructor, who's my friend, and he goes, do you know who that was? And I was like, who, what? He goes, that's Batman. And I'm like, what are you talking about? He goes, dude, that's Michael Keaton. That's Batman. It was Batman, dude. It was Michael Keaton.
That is awesome.
I was patting Michael Keaton's dog. He's right here.
Dude.
I didn't even know. I didn't even look up at him. And this is 2002. So, you know, I mean, this is 20 years ago. Like that Batman wasn't that old now, you know, like now that was an old movie, but it wasn't, it was 20 years younger then. And he was still Batman. He still is Batman, but he was right here. It was like having Tom Cruise or somebody right here. Didn't even look up at him. Didn't even realize it.
Man. I have a similar story, actually, a little bit. We were in downtown Bozeman. I don't know how old I was. I was like maybe 7, something like that, a little kid.
Okay.
Anyway, I was with my grandma and my aunt, and we were parked on the side of the street. My grandma had to go and do something, and all of a sudden I'm just looking at my comic book, or I don't remember. But my aunt goes, "Hey, Andrew, do you see who's at the window?" I'm like, "No." She goes, "That's Batman." And Michael Keaton was on the sidewalk, and I was too afraid to say anything. So I looked up and I'm like, "I like Batman." And I was all excited and looking around, and I didn't realize, like, that's him, because obviously in the movie in 1989, he's much younger than he was in 2007. So I was just like, "What? I love Batman." So I almost met Michael Keaton, and he was like maybe a yard away from our car.
Oh, that's
Almost. I missed the opportunity as a little kid.
the only person to get closer and still screw it up was me. Literally.
Yeah. You were petting his dog, and he was right there.
Gosh. Like, dude, I mean, we may have even bumped into each other. Like, we were that close, you know? Jeez. That's me, though. That's me. I mean, as anybody who has watched this show for more than 10 minutes and watched me go down 9 rabbit holes and somehow find my way back to where we were, which I don't know how that happens. Anyway, whatever. I'm not going down that rabbit hole.
Another movie that I saw. That
we were talking about movies. So the new Batman's coming out.
Another movie coming up that I typed in the comments just to remind myself, and this is the one I'm probably one of the most excited for. Indiana Jones 5.
Yes.
How did we totally forget about that for a second?
Yes. Oh, by the way, speaking of Indiana Jones and Harrison Ford and Han
Did you mean
Solo.
Harrison Ford?
No, I didn't meet Harrison Ford, but what I'm saying is, well, who knows? I've probably been closer to Harrison Ford and screwed it up still. But all the Star Wars movies that have come out since, the 2020s.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
I guess there was before that as well. There was a terrible, terrible one. I can't even remember what that one was, but the Skywalker one came out.
There was
that
the new
awesome.
trilogy. There was the Force Awakens in like 2015.
That was a good one.
That was pre-COVID. All these were pre-COVID. There was The Last Jedi, which people were very divided on.
That one was not great.
I didn't hate it. I hated some parts of it, but not the whole movie.
Yeah, there was some stupid stuff in it that it was like, oh, if you guys had just left that out,
it'd have been fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
And then Rise of Skywalker in 2019, I thought was okay. Star Wars is really killing it on TV, though.
Yeah, I guess that's more what I was thinking of.
Star Wars lives is streaming and TV, because Mandalorian, all that stuff is just really, really good.
Yeah, Boba Fett, or Fett, I guess. Yeah, no, Disney's been killing it there on the streaming service. But anyway, so what else? Let's name a few more, and then let's shut this puppy down. We've been on here over an hour. I know not just you and me, but this thing's been going for over an hour.
The whole show, yeah.
What else have we had?
I can't think of other movies that have come out.
There's been so many good ones. Katie, come on. Throw some things out there. Noah the Boa out here is hopefully still in our chat. And throw some movies out there that you've seen, Noah, that have been great. Oh, man, I wish Luke was in the comments.
The not reboot, but like 30 years later sequel thing that's kind of been happening recently. The newer Ghostbusters movie.
Yeah.
That had Paul Rudd in it. I liked it a lot.
Did they do another Matrix?
They did, but I never watched it.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either.
I heard it was pretty not good.
Yeah. That's a tough one because that one was so ahead of its time. It was so futuristic at that time. It's still futuristic today. And so to try and achieve the level of holy cow that movie was at that time, it wasn't possible, I don't think.
Yeah, it's not the same anymore.
Yeah.
The Spider-Man No Way Home, the third MCU Marvel movie Spider-Man in the universe came out in 2021. So that was a post-COVID really good movie.
Okay, yeah. And you kind of broke up there. What about Captain Marvel? Did you mention that one? Was that one?
Captain Marvel was 2019.
That was
There's
19?
the sequel coming out this year. The sequel's coming out this year, I think on my birthday, actually. but I'm not the biggest fan of that character, if I'm being honest with you. That movie was
I'm just trying to think of some things that were good that came out. Okay, we had Dune. That came out. That was a good one.
I still haven't watched that.
Oh, The Glass Onion. That was one that just came out. That was pretty good.
I haven't watched that either. I watched the first one, but I have not watched Glass Onion yet.
Guardians of the Galaxy.
Loved it.
There was, and I haven't watched them. I'm not a big horror movie person, but that remake
Neither am I,
of
but
It,
my mom is.
the remake of It with Pennywise.
Mom probably loved
I think
those.
it was It. Wasn't that the movie? They
Yep, that's
did a remake of that with Pennywise, which, dude, I mean, just even seeing the pictures of that guy freaks me out so bad that, see, I can't do those movies. Anyway, this is supposed to be some good movies, and this is not good movies at all. This is crap. Come on, I want to find a list. There's been some great movies that have come out.
There has, and I just can't think of them either. I went and saw it.
1917, that came out.
I have not seen that, and I really want to.
Yeah, I haven't seen it either, and it looks amazing, and I've heard it is.
The first movie I watched, I think back in the theater since COVID was a big thing, was actually the new Mortal Kombat movie. And I enjoyed it because I like the games. It wasn't the greatest movie, but it's what I like to call a Taco Bell movie, where it's not great, but great at the time.
Yeah, it's great. Yeah, I get you. What about this one? And Hamilton. What did you think about that?
I haven't watched it. I think
Mary made me watch it.
I'm sure I would like it.
I liked it. I mean, it's not my ball of wax. That whole musical thing is not my thing, but like The Greatest Showman, that was a good one.
That was okay. I liked it.
And I would kind of put this in the same league as that. It was cool.
My issue with Hamilton, and I think it's my same issue with Avatar. Also, I agree with you with Avatar. The storyline was very meh. Yeah. I just call it Fern Gully with blue people.
Yeah.
But I think Hamilton and then the new Avatar, because I haven't watched it because I really don't care. I think they're overhyped out the gate, which honestly could be the same for any Star Wars or Marvel movie if you're not a giant nerd like I am. But I think those movies got overhyped really, really fast, and I just didn't have an interest. Kind of like Game of Thrones on TV. I do not care. And I love that sort of stuff.
I haven't watched
I'm a huge
that
Lord of the
either.
Rings fan. But I don't care about Game of Thrones. I do not care.
Did you hear that? Yeah, have not. Have not. So some other ones.
I loved them, but I can do that.
There's a Thor movie that came out. There was Bullet Train.
It was okay.
Haven't seen either of those, but haven't heard they were great. I'm just trying to think of some bigger names. Black Adam. That was not a good one.
It was very predictable and very much just The Rock showing that he's probably the most massive human on the planet.
Dude, I mean, I want to believe that
That's
guy...
about it. It was so shallow of a movie.
I want to believe that guy is natural, but I just can't. I mean, dude, at this age, to be packing on that amount of muscle...
His 50s?
He's 50-something. Geez, let's see. I'm trying to find some other movies that... I guess there's not all these great ones that I thought there were. Maybe there's a bunch of good ones.
Or we'll remember them as soon as we leave.
Yeah, as soon as we shut this down. Happen. So anyway, like I said, I wish Luke was in the comments. Oh, Timmy's in there. Kids movies, Coco and Soul. I have not seen this one, but what's up, Timmy? I'm so glad. I did watch
Soul. It was exclusive streaming with Soul.
You know what?
I think that hurt it. That hurt it quite a bit because it came out. Really hurt that movie. If it was released in theaters, I think it would have done really well because it was a very, very good.
Which movie? You're breaking up again. So which one? Soul. Okay. Soul. Mary and I watched that Nike one. about the Jordans.
I want to see that.
It was
I want to
good.
see that. That looks really
It was
good.
a solid movie. I'd recommend watching that. That was a solid movie.
Who'd have thought a movie about a shoe would be interesting?
Well, I mean, the move those guys made, who knew that was going to work? I mean, it was just
that reminded me.
So great.
With Matt Damon, movies like that reminded me. Ford v Ferrari. Yep. I loved that movie. That was so good.
I haven't seen it.
I think that was post-COVID, but I think that was pre-COVID, but it was still very good.
Let's see, Loose. What's that? Luca.
Oh, I did watch that. I think I liked it.
I haven't.
It's been a while.
I want to say it sounds familiar,
I think it's a Pixar movie.
I can't remember. The Elvis movie came out. Nope came out.
Never watched it.
Neither have I. I think the guy I used to be on a podcast with, he's a big Elvis fan as well, and I think he liked it. So I'll just say all right, because I'm probably not going to watch it. But
I mean, yeah.
You know what? Batman movie with what's his name? The new kind of the weird Batman. What's that kid's name?
Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
Yeah,
I liked that.
I really liked it.
I did. I enjoyed that, and I was expecting to be disappointed because so I'm a Batman guy. Like the whole, Batman's not a superhero. I don't really play that game thing. It doesn't matter to me, but Batman is my favorite superhero. Okay. I just put him in that league, even though he's whatever.
Oh, he is a superhero.
He's a superhero. Anyway. And so I was really excited about the movie, but then I heard that it was this kind of like dramatic redo of it and kind of a reinvention of Bruce. And I was hearing a lot of people were disappointed. And so then I was tainted going into it. I was like, man, I don't think I'm going to like this. But I had already bought the ticket like ahead of time.
It was really good.
And I went in expecting to be disappointed, and I liked it. I liked it enough to where I was like, hey, Mary, let's go. Because we went, remember I said that I've got a dudes group that kind of goes and does movies.
Right.
This is one of the ones we went to was that new Batman one. And it was good enough to where I then came home and I took Mary and watched it again. I liked it. I mean, saw it in theaters multiple times. So, and I don't do that. So,
what's your record for movie you've seen, or how many times have you seen one movie in the theater? What is your record for how many times you've seen a movie in the theater? Mine's 3.
Well, I know.
And it was Top Gun, actually.
I know I saw Top Gun in theaters in IMAX 3 times at least. Jeez. I'm not a big redo on the movies, but there was a time in my day back when I was a good-looking lad that I believe I took multiple girls to the same movie in theaters. I think it was Notting Hill. And I don't know, I might have gone like 5 times with 5 different people.
Oh, jeez.
I can't believe I just admitted that. Aunt
Mary, if you're watching, I'm sorry.
Oh, man. What an idiot. I still am an idiot, but not that big of an idiot anymore. Geez.
I walked you into that one. I'll take the heat for that.
I'm the one who took the rope and anyway. But yeah, that would probably be it. I would think Notting Hill.
Nice. Not what I would have ever thought of, ever.
And to be quite honest, even when you asked that question, it's not one that I knew I was going to admit. But it just happened. Go. So, golly. I don't think I was dating Mary around that time. So I think she had become wiser at that point in her life and gone elsewhere. Jeez, what an idiot. All right, so now we've been on here for well over an hour, and I'm starting to embarrass myself. So maybe we should shut her down. But man, this has been fun again. Every time you and I just lost power. That means the internet's gone.
No.
All right, dude. We'll see you, brother.
See ya.
Dang it. Oh, stop streaming. Dang. The phone still works. Hang on. Your stream will stop and you will no longer be live.